In today's video, I'm going to go over how to go about finding your first wholesale supplier. So this is applicable if you're brand new to the business, or even if you've been in the business for a while and you're looking to expand your current supplier base. So before we get started, just wanted to say if this type of video was helpful, please be sure to like it. And if there was anything that was confusing or you want me to elaborate on, be sure to leave a comment and I will reply and be sure to do so. And also be sure to subscribe for more because I put out videos like this all the time. So when it comes down to finding your first supplier, really you want to break down what those suppliers look like. And really there's two main categories. So there's your distributors, and those are companies that will sell multiple brands. And then you've got your brands or your manufacturers, which typically they only carry one brand, which is their own, and you're buying directly from them, which is the source. And so typically pricing is going to be a little better, but they can be a little harder to work with. Whereas distributors, sometimes pricing is not quite as good. But it's a little easier to open an account with them. So again, both of those rules are subject to change vary by supplier. But in general, that's kind of how it works. So when it comes to finding your first brand account to work with, like brand direct wholesale accounts where you're buying from the manufacturer, the best strategy to take is going to be to reverse source from Amazon first. And so what that looks like is you're going to go onto Amazon, you're going to pick a product category, and then you're probably going to pick a subcategory, right? Because you want to niche down just a little bit. And what I like to do on the left-hand side of the screen is I like to pick a price range because it lets you pick a certain price range that you want to see products in. And I like to choose between $50 and $100 because that's a price range that is a little cost prohibitive typically to beginners. And so you're going to find a little less competition in price ranges like that. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to be scrolling through the product listings and I'm going to be using a Chrome extension called DS Amazon Quick View. And that's just going to show me quickly at a glance, is Amazon on this listing? Are FBA sellers on this listing? Or are FBM sellers on this listing? Or all of the above? So quickly at a glance, I can disqualify any products where Amazon is the only seller on the listing. Now, when I find a product where maybe it has only FBA sellers, so that's an opportunity for someone like me to come in and sell it, I'm going to hover my mouse over the listing and then a Keepa overlay is going to pop up in the bottom right. And that is going to show me at a glance if this is a product worth looking into further. So if by looking at that Keepa, I can see Amazon hasn't been dominating this buy box for the last year, looks like a relatively stable price, looks like some good demand. Well, then that's a product that I'm just going to open that in a new tab. And I'm going to continue down that page and open up any products that meet that same criteria. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each listing. And again, just a quick spot check of the listing. Make sure it's not some big multinational brand that I'll have trouble getting in touch with, but make sure it's maybe some smaller or mid-sized brand where I can find their website, I can find their contact information, put that in a Google Sheet or a CRM, and give them a call and ask if they'd be willing to sell to us at wholesale for resale. Right. So that's going to be the best strategy for finding those brand leads. And it's pretty much rinse and repeat for any brand in any category that meets that criteria. And so when it comes to finding distributor leads, the easiest way to do this is going to be through Google. Right. So you're going to want to Google. I always recommend starting in your area. And I'm talking about in the area that your product's being shipped to. So if you're doing your own prep and you're in, say, Charlotte, North Carolina, well, then I want you to look for suppliers in or around Charlotte. But if you've got a 3PL in, say, Georgia, well, then it's going to be best to look for suppliers closer to your 3PL because, again, that's going to be where they're shipping to. So I'm just going to go on Google and I'm going to start with search terms and I'm going to incorporate my city. And so I'm going to say something, for example, like let's say the category that I'm looking at is tools and automotive, right? So I might Google search tool distributor, Charlotte, North Carolina, right? And then those search terms might give me, I don't know how many results, but what I'm going to do is I'm typically going to go through the first 10 to 15 pages of those search results, because what you'll find is a lot of the best suppliers have a really poor web presence and they might be on the 5th, 7th, 10th, 15th page of Google, right? And so you want to really dig deep using these search terms to find some suppliers that potentially a lot of people have missed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to be switching up those search terms quite a bit. I might say tool supplier in Charlotte, right? That might be what I Google. Or I might say Charlotte, North Carolina, tool distributor and wholesaler. So I'm just going to be constantly switching out these search terms and kind of rearranging them because each different set of search terms is going to give you slightly different results. So again, combing through those results and not being afraid to go to the 10th or the 15th or 20th page of Google to potentially find some stuff that people missed. And again, what you're going to do when you find these distributors' websites is you're going to open them up. You're going to look at a couple of things. So you're going to make sure that they're primarily B2B, right? So that they only sell to other businesses. So typically they're going to have bulk pricing. Ideally, they don't show their pricing on their website. Most legitimate distributors will not show pricing on their website because of the fact that they don't want competitors to know what their price is, and they don't want people price shopping them right off the bat. Some of them will have list pricing or retail pricing on their website. That's okay. But as long as they don't have like your cost on their website, then typically that's a sign that that they're going to be, a legitimate B2B supplier. And, those are the primary things you want to look for, along with the fact that they carry brand name products that are already selling on Amazon. So most suppliers on their website are going to have a brands tab or manufacturers tab. And you just want to take a quick peek at that and just make sure that at least a couple of the brands they carry are selling on Amazon. Because if so, then you know that the products they carry are good. It just becomes a matter of pricing, which you can negotiate, and that's kind of up for negotiation almost all the time. So that's going to be what you're going to use to determine whether a distributor is worth reaching out to. And again, you're just going to comb through Google and continue to put those results into your CRM or into your Google Sheet, and then reach out to them in bulk all at one time. Now, that's going to be the easiest way to find new suppliers, both brands and distributors. But if you want this pretty much this video broken down step by step, what I've done is I've actually released recently a completely free course where I show you how to find either your first or your next wholesale supplier using the exact methods that I just shared. So it's like a 20 to 30 minute in-depth video on each strategy. And I mean, if you implement it within 30 minutes to an hour, you could have a list of solid suppliers that you could reach out to today. So if you want a link to that, like I said, it's completely free. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to that. If you like it and if it helps you out, if you find some good leads from it, then hit me up on Twitter and let me know, if it helps. So follow me on Twitter as well at Ganim Corey. Be sure to like the video, leave a comment if there's anything I can elaborate on, and subscribe for more.